In this video we are going to talk about top 10 biggest football derbies. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Football is born by competition. Matches involving key opponents are always crucial and offer a lot of emotions. Football fans are incredibly enthusiastic about their team, and traveling to a derby is the dream of every fan. Here are the top 10 biggest football derbies. Number 10, Derby della Capitale, Roma vs Lazio. The Roman derby has a history that dates back to the mark of 100 years. At the beginning of the 19th century, the majority of successful Italian football clubs were located in the country's north. However, in 1927, Benito Mussolini, who was the political leader of Italy at the time, made the decision to establish the Roma Football Club. He did this by recruiting the best players from across the country. Lazio was the only club that did not follow through with Mussolini's plan. Ever since then, there has been a fierce competition that cannot be resolved. On days when there is a derby, Rome is split into two halves, and fans frequently brawl with one another. The most catastrophic event took place in 1979 when a supporter of Lazio was killed during a riot that was started by Roma supporters. Number 9, Derby della Matanina, Inter vs Milan. Although their titles are different, the soccer teams Inter and Milan play in the same stadium. The Milan Football Club was established by English laborers in 1899, but, within a few years, internal strife began to emerge at the club. While some of the leaders supported the inclusion of international players, others advocated for the inclusion of Italian footballers. The war was finally over in 1908, the same year that the International Football Club was established. Since that time, Milan and Inter have been engaged in competition with one another, and the hunt for trophies has come to characterize their conflict. Milan club fans, in contrast to those attending the Roman derby, are generally peaceful and do not engage in physical altercations. Number 8, the Northwest Derby, Manchester United vs Liverpool. The Northwest Derby is essentially a head-to-head competition between two distinct cities. During the 1970s and 1980s of the 20th century, Liverpool was unbeatable in England and achieved consistent success in Europe. There were a lot of English clubs that had the dream of knocking Liverpool off the top of the football mountain, but only the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson was able to do it. The rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United reached a whole new level as Manchester United established itself as a powerful club. Teams are always fighting against one another, and fans frequently get into altercations with one another. Although both Manchester United and Liverpool have other major rivals in their respective cities, Manchester City and Everton, respectively, the competition between Manchester United and Liverpool is considered to be the most prestigious in England. The proximity of the two major cities that each team represents, their long-standing competition in the economic and industrial spheres, their significant periods of dominance in domestic football and success in Europe, and their popularity both in their home country and around the world as two of the highest-earning and most widely supported football clubs in the entire world, have all contributed to the growth of the rivalry between the two teams. The head-to-head record between the two teams is currently in Manchester United's favor, with 81 wins to Liverpool's 70. The other 58 matches between the two teams have ended in a draw. Number 7. Derby of Eternal Foes, Olympiacos vs Panathinaikos. Even if many other Greek clubs have their sights set on becoming giants, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos continue to be the strongest teams in Greece. There is a social dimension to the competition that takes place between the Greens and the Red-Whites. Panathinaikos was established in Athens in 1908 by members of the city's upper-class aristocracy, who were known as the whiteners of the clubs. Olympiacos was founded 17 years later in the city of Piraeus, which is known for its port, and therefore regular employees supported him. The rival teams and their fans frequently get into fights with one another. Number 6. Intercontinental Derby, Galatasaray vs Fenerbahce. The match between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce is known as the Intercontinental Derby. Galatasaray was established in what is now the European portion of Istanbul, and Fenerbahce was established in what is now the Asian half of the city. The ardent support shown by the fans of the various clubs for their own teams was highlighted by the fact that the noise level at the Turk Telekom Stadium was the loudest in 2011. Number 5. Old Firm Derby, Celtic vs Rangers. Religious views were one of the factors that contributed to the animosity that existed between Celtic and Rangers supporters. Celtic was established by members of the Catholic Church, while the Rangers are made up of individuals who adhere to the Protestant faith. The first time these two teams competed against one another was in 1888, and ever since then, the intensity of their rivalry has only grown. In the year 1927, there was a major battle amongst supporters, in which there were a total of 2,000 persons involved. In recent years, supporters have become more civil, although still continue to loathe one another. Number 4. A traditional battle, Flamengo versus Fluminense. The national sport of Brazil is football, and the most important rivalry is between Flamengo and Fluminense. The attendance at the stadium during the match between Flamengo and Fluminense in 1971 was a world record with 194,000 people present. Flamengo was a team that was supported by the working class, whilst Fluminense was a club that was popular among the upper class. Number 3. Eternal Derby, Red Star Belgrade versus Partizan. Although the rivalry between Red Star Belgrade and Partizan has only been going on for a short while in comparison to some of the other derbies on our list, it already holds the top spot in terms of physicality. Both of these organizations were established at the same time and in the same location. The teams eventually began to compete against one another, and the derby gained widespread notoriety as a result of the supporters. Fights break out among fans on a daily basis. There is a widespread belief that supporters of Red Star Belgrade and Partizan are among the most violent people in the world. Number 2. El Clasico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. The match known as El Clasico is incredibly well known all over the world. Both Real Madrid and Barcelona are considered to be the two most successful football clubs in the annals of the game, and the two have always been in competition with one another. Luis Figo transferred from Barcelona to Real Madrid in the year 2000 after leaving the Catalan club. Figo was reviled by the supporters of Barcelona, and ever since then, there have been no direct transfers between the two teams. Real and Barcelona have a common goal at the end of the season: they want to have more success than their primary opponent. Therefore, during each transfer window, they try to buy the best players they can. Real Madrid is often seen as a symbol of Spanish nationalism, while Barcelona is frequently seen as a symbol of Catalan nationalism. Both of these clubs have a global popularity, and they are the two sports teams in the world that have the most followers on social media. Barcelona leads in exhibition matches with 19 victories to Madrid's 4 with 10 draws, and in total matches with 116 wins to Madrid's 104 with 62 draws as of the match played on March 20, 2022. Number 1. Superclasico, Boca Juniors versus River Plate. We choose to prioritize the Argentine Superclasico over the Spanish El Clasico as a result of the latter's recent transformation into a commercial enterprise. Due to the fact that Boca Juniors and River Plate are bitter rivals, the environment at games between the two teams consistently ranks among the most exciting. The dynamic amongst fans is extremely tense, and many of them are willing to take each other's lives. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.